All right, Anthony on Air podcast. As Frankie C just said, I got quarantine quaff right here. Not looking great
Patent
today.
pending.
Patent pending. Hashtag quarantine quaff.
Yeah, if someone's going to make money off of this video, it's going to be us, damn it.
Poll question from last time was, have you bought any Tiger merch? 100% across the board. Everybody said no. Not surprised. Poll question for this episode. Do you know who this gentleman is? Have you received a text message from a friend where this guy's face and other body parts eventually landed on your phone or email or whatever? In the comments right now, let us know yes or no. Have you gotten a text message with this guy? Frankie C, that is a gentleman by the name of Wood. People are calling him a porn star. I actually found out about his story a little bit more. I'll tell everybody all about it. But
More of a meme star.
He's a meme star. It's weird. Wood, Tiger King, and COVID-19. Like literally, this is 2020. This is how
2020. That's
right?
it.
That's how it's going to be remembered.
If Billy Joel were writing a song, those are the three things he'd start
It would be three things.
There's just three things over and over. That's the chorus.
5,000 things in the original We Didn't Start the Fire. And We Didn't Start the Fire 2020, there are two things. That is so true. It's so funny. Wood was a guy who, it's a sad story, actually. He was down on his luck. He was about to lose his home. So he did some adult videos. They were solo videos from what I understand. And they took that picture of him, I guess, and for whatever reason it started making its rounds. Now, in our little circle of friends, it was, I'll call her out, Janine, who I think fired the first shot with Wood.
Was it Janine or was it Jay?
No, it was Janine, because it was something to the effect of, look who has COVID now, or President Trump has COVID. These seem to be the trending ones. I forget which one Janine sent specifically. Was it like, look who has...
I'd have to go back like weeks and weeks into my texts, and it's like I'd be here all day.
But basically,
the first one.
How it works is somebody will send you a thing that's a link that's like, President Trump tests positive for COVID-19, or look who's testing positive for COVID-19, and then you click on it. And then it's just a picture of this huge guy, and he's in the buff, and you can see everything. And Lord blessed him with plenty to go around. It's
the 2020 version of being rickrolled.
It is it's woodrolled. It's being woodrolled. That's a great
being something that rhymes with rickrolled. Can we call it that? Patent pending.
Being dick rolled.
You're getting dick rolled. That's what it is.
I never thought of that. Oh my God.
I think that's what we got to call it from now on.
Oh Jesus. It's gotten out of control. I mean, it's at the point where there's been articles written about it now, and everybody's kind of talking about it now. So this has been going on in our little group of friends for about a month or two.
It feels like a year or two.
Yeah. But I didn't really feel like we should bring it to the podcast until now, because it's reached such a height where, like, everybody has gotten that text message. Everybody has it. So now it's turned into, like, from what turned into that little Rickroll or Dick roll, if you will. It's become a thing now where, like, he's basically showing up everywhere. Like, he's in every single popular meme. He's been mixed with Tiger King memes. He's been mixed with, I should just go through that scene at the bar where everybody's watching the soccer game and somebody scores and the place goes crazy. He's been on that, like oh man, it sounds like Frank's getting dick rolled right now. Sorry, man, you got frozen up there.
Something's happened.
Go ahead.
Yep. No, just saying, he's in everything. Political, just whatever meme you can think of. This is the king of memes so far. I can't even think of another meme that came out this year. He's like When I think of a meme, he's in it for some reason.
Well, it's either Tiger King or him, basically, right? I mean,
Right now he's in Tiger King too.
he's in everything, and it's every sort of, like, even for Mets fans, like here, I mean, the home run apple, it's him popping up out of the home run apple. I can get all
You
these.
have to blur that.
Nah, that's all right. He is so tiny, we probably can't even see it.
But he doesn't hear that a lot.
There was one that here was like, look what was inside my COVID mask, and if you look really close,
Yeah, he's on the center.
he's in the center of the mask. Like, it's like anything and everything you can think of would appears in the memes.
So now I know this guy though, he's no longer around, correct?
As the story goes, Wood is dead, if you can believe it. He died a couple of years ago. I believe it was a heart attack. And so, yeah, the story goes, it was a sad part of his life. He was about to lose his house. So he did this, like, solo adult film work, and, so he could just make a couple of bucks and, keep his house. And the photographer who owns it. So I heard the story from Tom Segura, because what eventually wound up happening is people started making T-shirts and putting his image on shirts and profiting off of it. And the photographer who took the photo, he technically owns the photo.
That picture, yeah.
If you've ever dealt with photographers, like, if they take a picture of you, it doesn't matter if they take a picture of only, like, I think the president of the United States and, like, Queen Elizabeth, like, you can't own their photos. They're in public domain. But if you take a photo of somebody, if somebody takes a picture of you, the photographer owns it. You don't own it. They could do whatever,
right.
You can do whatever they want with it. So the guy owns it. So they tracked down the photographer, and the photographer was like, yeah, it's kind of crazy what's happening. He died a couple of years ago. So then Tom Segura, who's a stand-up comic who has a special out on Netflix right now called Ball Hog. I watched it over the weekend. It was hysterical. Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer have two of the funniest stand-up specials on Netflix right now. Actually, side note, I put on, who's the guy? Pete Davidson? Mm-hmm. Cuddles and I went to go watch Pete Davidson's stand-up special. We had to turn it off. It was terrible. It was not good.
The guy, what was it? Kreischer?
Bert Kreischer.
I went to Netflix, and that I don't know what's going on with Netflix or who's in charge of the little trailer. When you hover over a certain show, it plays like 10, 15 seconds of it. The clip that they play for him, it turned me off of his show completely. Really? It was just him. He said something, and it wasn't really that funny. It wasn't really a big joke or anything. But he himself couldn't stop laughing, and it was just him laughing for like 15 seconds.
He laughs at his own jokes quite often, actually.
Which is okay, but what he said wasn't that funny, and he just kept laughing. I'm like, I don't want to watch this guy just stand up there and laughing at not that funny.
You gotta watch it.
But I feel like the people who are cutting these things up need to do a little more homework.
Yeah. You know what else I've noticed too?
The best stuff.
They're studying this so much that they've stopped. If you've noticed, they've stopped using movie posters, and they've stopped using even images from the films. Sometimes they'll just use an image of one of the people that's in the film.
Really?
Like The Social Network, I noticed, was just a picture of Justin Timberlake. It wasn't even like,
he's not even the star of the movie.
Yeah, he's like the fourth lead in the movie, and he was like the picture. And it was probably from the movie, but it wasn't like from a scene in the movie. It was like just a picture of him. It was so weird. What else
I'm seeing too is if you go on, Fios, and you go on the regular TV, and you look in the description of each show, it starts now with the director instead of like the lead actor.
That's interesting.
And it's like,
say that again, man. You froze. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's just a weird little thing I happened to notice. I don't know when they changed it, but the director gets the first thing, and then it's the main star.
We've bounced around in times from where the directors are more powerful than star. Like, I feel like that was the case in the 90s with like Kevin Smith and Quentin Tarantino and some of those guys that popped around that time. Anyway,
they're popular. They're getting their due, I guess.
Yeah. We digress. So Tom Segura saw that other people were making shirts and profiting off of him, tracks down the photographer, and he goes, I want to do a shirt that because I think this will be hilarious. And his shirt's really, really funny. It's I'll see if I can pop it up on the screen for you here. But he goes, look, you got to get me in touch with somebody, you know, that we can give the money to, because I'd feel terrible just like profiting off of this, you know, profiting off of this guy. So the photographer.
Oh, so it's the guy. Okay.
Yeah. So the photographer got him into. Oh, I can't even prop this up on the screen. Oh, maybe I can. The photographer got him in touch with the guy's fiance. It doesn't matter. It's a picture of Wood's face and it says "Wash your hands." That was Tom Segura's shirt. Which is
How
pretty.
was that his shirt though? I thought you were gonna say like it's him and Wood on the shirt.
Well, he came
It's
up with
just-
the idea to put put Wood's face and put "Wash your hands" on the shirt. You know, because he represents Corona time. You know, basically.
It's true.
So anyway, so he puts him in touch with the guy's fiance, because the guy had a fiance at the time, and this was a couple of days ago, and he goes. And by the way, so Wood's photo has been around for years. He died a couple of years ago,
Right.
but it's been around for years. It's just picked up with all this Corona stuff, which has been going on for easily a month, 2 months, you know.
Right.
He gets on the phone with this girl and he goes, how crazy this has been. And she goes, do you want to know something? I just found out today that people are doing this. Like,
Wow.
She had no idea that Wood had
To be fair, no one's gonna send her. You know, no one's gonna dick roll her.
Everybody that knows her is like, leave Cheryl off of this group text. We don't want
This is
to.
not gonna go over well with her.
I mean, it's so terrible, but it's unbelievable. Like he is a global phenomenon. Like literally, like we
Too
said,
bad it didn't catch fire when he was around, man.
it's like any famous painter. You know, all their stuff becomes valuable after they die. It's like the same
Yeah.
same exact thing, which is kind of crazy. So she had no idea that all of this stuff was happening for months. And
That is crazy.
she just found out about it that day. So I know there's a lot of outlets and people that are profiting from him. But if you really want to buy a Wood shirt, buy it from Tom Segura's store. Google Tom Segura and find his store.
So now, is the wife or the girlfriend or whoever in charge? Like, is she teamed up with Tom Segura? Is that what's going on?
She said, oh, because I guess they came to some sort of an agreement. He's going to give all the money, all the profit from the shirt is going to go to her. And I guess because he's got a couple of kids, they'll try and sock away a few bucks for the kids for school or whatever they need, I guess.
It seems fair.
But I mean, like, we all laugh at it and everything, and some of them are really funny because they're funny because they could be anything. It doesn't have to be Wood. You put something, you put Tiger King in those same memes that we're gonna laugh at them just the same. But it's unbelievable. Like it must be horrific to be the fiance here, and like he's become this thing, and it's like there's nothing.
That is awkward.
There's nothing you can do about it. You cannot control the internet. This is unstoppable. Like the photographer even said, he's like, I could go and sue these people and like try and claim the profits off of it. And he's like, I'm not. I just wish that they would give the money to the fiance. So that's when Segura was
That's
like,
not how the world works, though. People aren't going to do that. You got to go after some of these people.
right. I bet you this is going to continue to grow so big. Because here's the weird thing now. It's a porn guy. So like TMZ wrote about it, but you're not going to really see this. Like we can talk about it and have fun. That's the beauty of podcasts. There's a lot more freedom here. But like NBC is not going to do a story on this, which is kind of hysterical because, like I said, everybody, like I would love to.
It's a big story.
It's
what
a huge
everybody's
story.
talking about. It's not what everybody's talking about, but it's in the mainstream.
It's in the lexicon. There's not a group of friends that haven't forwarded this to, they're in their group, and like everybody has seen it. I would love, and we'll update the poll results from this episode in the next episode that we put up so you can see. But I'm sure that number is going to be up around 85% of people who have seen Wood. Maybe they don't know his name is Wood. Maybe they don't know the story behind him, but I'm sure they've gotten a text message or
They've
seen a
come
meme.
across this picture.
Right. I mean, it literally, like we said, it's Tiger King, it's Wood, and it's coronavirus. That is everything that has consumed people's lives so far.
And we're 4 months in, and that's all we got. That's all we're doing.
That's all we're doing.
4 months into this year, that's all we got.
Yeah. So if you do wind up buying a thing or something, go to Tom Segura's store, because at least that money will go. But so the point I was making was I bet you that this will continue over the next couple of weeks, and we'll get to the point where the photographer, like you said, Frank, will have to sue basically for them so that because it's not fair that other places are making money off of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just like anything else. It's not your work. It's not your photo.
Right.
It's not even like you don't even know the guy. It's like if I went on the street, I don't know. It's like if I took someone's photo out of their house and started making money with it. It's kind of the same thing. It's a weird law, but it's got to go where the money's got to go where it's got to go. It's got to be fair.
Speaking of Tiger King, Jeff Lowe, who was in Tiger King, said that there's going to be another Tiger King episode released to Netflix next week. So outside of Wood came back from the dead, this is possibly the greatest story that we could have. Besides the obvious, like we cured coronavirus.
That'd be good.
That would be amazing, but we've yet to cure a virus, so that would be ridiculous. But so apparently the buzz from Tiger King, which over the weekend I looked and it was still trending #1 on Netflix, if we're going to believe that from them, which we have no choice. But Jeff Lowe, one of the stars of Tiger King, was recording a video for Los Angeles Dodgers player Justin Turner and his wife Courtney. I guess he's probably doing cameos now. And he says, and I quote, "Hey, Courtney and Justin, this is Jeff Lowe from the Tiger King show on Netflix. Thank you for watching this show. Christy said you're a big fan, and yeah, you need a life." Christy, I guess, is a producer. "You just wasted 7 hours on us. Take care, guys. We love you." Before ending his video message, he let the cat out of the bag. "Netflix is adding one more episode. We'll be on next week. We're filming here tomorrow." He ended his video. "Take care. Stay safe. Put your mask on." So, but here's the thing, though. This guy's full of crap, like for the most part. So I don't know how true this is. And if Netflix was there filming at the time, how the hell are they going to turn around an episode so quickly?
In a week?
Yeah. Either it's BS or Netflix is just rushing to get a "Where Are They Now" special up as quick as possible to capitalize and keep people watching. Which it could be either. Don't you feel like it can go either way?
It could be that. I mean, if they're filming this week, there's no way they're getting something up for next, unless they're filming a bunch of B-roll or something that they're just going to add in, like on the cutting room floor. They're just going to. I mean, if they're filming main stuff, there's no way they're going to be ready for next week, right? I mean, how long does it take to throw together a documentary?
I mean, I think Tiger King took like 5 years. You know,
really?
Yeah, because it's just they would just film. You know, they're just filming stuff for a long time. You know, that film people
so this
do.
Can't be.
Like I said, unless it's just like a quick, like, you know, in the vein of like Real Housewives, where they just film those. Everybody comes on and they ask them what they've been up to lately, and maybe flashbacks.
Just to let you know, my wife just did the challenge. The TikTok challenge.
The naked challenge?
Yep. I hope the
do me a favor, swing the camera around for a sec. I don't believe it.
Spin the camera?
Yeah. I think you're lying.
Ran away. She ran away. I'll be back.
Did she film it for TikTok?
She did not. No, she doesn't have TikTok.
That's right. I saw her in the reflection of your glasses, so it's no big deal.
Okay, good.
Tell her she looks amazing.
So then, all right, everybody saw you in the reflection of my glasses, so you're good to go.
I think I'm nominating you next.
You will make a 15-minute fame. You'll get famous overnight.
You'll be the new Wood. It's going to be fantastic.
Tell her I'm nominating Dominica next.
Oh, she's nominating your wife next.
I'm going to let her know.
Okay.
Even though Dee just popped in like 10 minutes ago and changed her. My wife, she literally, and maybe people can understand this. She's changing from indoor sweatpants to outdoor sweatpants. That's what she did just now. I think a lot of people.
Well, that's
it's something. But I said
that's something.
I passed I glanced at her and I gave her like a flirty look, and she was like, "Shut up, fix the printer." That's literally what she said to me. And then turned around.
Challenge.
Yeah, I walked out. Yeah, I got the fix the printer challenge right now. If I ever want to see my wife naked in the next week, I better fix this printer.
Well, my wife has nominated your wife, so she's got to do it next at some point.
All right, I tell her I appreciate that. Any help I could get is help that I need for sure. So Louis C.K. came back over the weekend. We heard rumors that he was filming another hour of stand-up comedy, and he dropped it over the weekend. Now, I want to preface this with, I know this is a polarizing topic and people feel very strongly about this. I just want to and Frankie C, you let me know on this. I feel like we can agree to certain things here, which is one, what Louis C.K. did was bad and not good, and not fair to the
bad
people.
And not good.
Bad, not good. It's not good. Okay, it's very bad.
It covers everything. It's bad. Okay, not a lot of people know that.
People tell me bad, not good.
Bad.
Remember when there were no Trump impressions, and then all of a sudden it just took us a couple of. If I feel like every single president gets to a certain threshold of hours that you see them, and then all of a sudden everybody can do it. Like I remember when I got my Obama impression down, I was like, "How did this happen? I could never do this guy." And then all of a sudden,
it just becomes everywhere, and then you get so many examples of it.
Yeah,
you can't help but do it.
It's so weird
everywhere, and he is the cartooniest person, so
he's more fun.
Easy to do.
Trump is more like Obama was. Obama had the pauses, like that was Obama's thing, but Trump is so much fun because he's doing the hand thing so much. Like, excuse me, hold on, wait, excuse me, like. Any hand motion is so much. Like even if you look back to when Baldwin started doing it on SNL, for whatever reason, it's so much. There's like the impression of him, the caricature of him has become so much better now.
He's playing an invisible accordion, is what he's doing.
Anyway, where was I? So we could agree that what Louis C.K. was not good, wasn't good. I'm sure he obviously has victims and owes apologies, and I don't know where he's at with all of that. But I think we could all agree that what Harvey Weinstein did was far worse than what Louis C.K. did. Agree?
I would agree with that.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, they're both bad, but Harvey Weinstein much worse.
And that's the point. Both bad. Harvey Weinstein, horrific and deserves jail time. And Louis C.K., nobody has brought him up on charges or anything like that. So whether you think he should be back working or not, you can certainly have that right to have that opinion. But let's just go on the basis of Harvey Weinstein's in jail and Louis C.K. is not. So that's how we have to operate, right? So he drops this comedy special, and I see a lot of negative things. And there are some media outlets and some blogs that write very poorly about him. And he deserves that for what he did. And there are other people that maybe are a little bit more fair to him, saying that he's done his part and, you know, if he's done his apology and he spent his time away and he can come back. However you feel about that. My issue with Louis C.K. is, so I see that he's got a comedy special back. I'm like, okay, I'm curious. I was a massive fan of the guy before all of this, right? And I'll be honest with you, I would still watch the special. Like, I don't know if that's just because we do this for a living or just general curiosity, but I don't think it makes me a bad person to be like, I'm going to check this out, you know? And for all the people that are getting hyper offended right now, I'm sure everybody went and listened to Michael Jackson music after all that stuff came out about him. And all right, so we've all been down this road. We've all watched actors or actresses who have done terrible things, gotten off or have done their time, and then they come back and then, you know, we all pretend like, oh, it's great. Case in point, last time around or 2 episodes ago, you were like, hey, OJ Simpson said this. And like, we're all like, oh, OJ Simpson's so crazy. And it's like, but he murdered 2 people. So, you know.
Found not guilty.
Right. But still, we all know he murdered 2 people.
I'm just saying.
So like, and everybody, present party included, we've all laughed about an OJ thing recently or seen an OJ. So like, we're all guilty of this. So before everybody gets hyper offended and starts writing me, the thing I had a problem with, so I'm like, let me go, I want to go see, I'll go check it out. So I go to his website just to see what the deal is. And you know what, to be honest with you, it was a case of more like, I kind of wanted to see where he shot it and what it looked like. Is it more like, he's in the round or there's a big crowd, or is it more like, low key, or, because I get
Small club.
I'm very obsessed with that. Like, I always want to see where the comic is, how they shot it, how many.
So what was it?
I didn't find out any of that. But I always want to like take a look at, but just so people have a background on me, like I always try and find out how many, because usually it's an amalgamation of a couple of shows, a minimum
so you're reading
two,
it for the articles,
most four, right? So I read the Playboy for the articles. So anyway, so I go and I look and I see this thing and it says, "We need to laugh now more than ever for those people who need to laugh." Here's my special, and it says $7.99 on it. Now, I look at this and I go, here's a guy, and I'm so glad you're making that face, Frank. Here's a guy.
There's a little nerve there.
Right? Like, you're trying to get back in the good graces of everybody. We obviously need content more now than ever.
What platform is this being shown?
It's
just on his website?
It's on his website. So I don't even, and that was like the other thing. I'm like, well, if I go there, will it open up a YouTube link? Does it just play off his web browser? Can I watch it on my TV? Like, these are all the things that are running through my head because I'm just curious about it. And I go and I see $7.99 and I'm like, why the you're trying to get in everybody's good graces, and now we need to laugh now more than ever, which is true. And you want $8 off of me? Like,
the only thing, and I'm not defending Louis C.K. All I would say as an impartial person is, if nobody else like Netflix and all these things refuse to carry his stuff,
right?
Because all the stand-up people that are on Netflix get paid by Netflix.
Of course, your argument is he should be paid for the work that he's done, and I think
if people want to pay for it, they're going to pay for it. If they don't want to pay for it, they don't have to pay for it.
I think that's a valid point. And if this were any other scenario, like, I wouldn't even be bringing this up, because you're right. And that's the point. Like, it doesn't matter what he's been accused of, what he actually did or did not do. He's done some work and he puts it out. If people want to pay for it, great. But if I'm on the Louis C.K. team, okay, and we're in charge of rebuilding Louis C.K.'s reputation, I'm going to be the person who raises my hand in the meeting and say, hey, maybe we should put this out for free at a time. Like, maybe that's your I'm sorry to the world. And again, whether people want to take it or not is up to them entirely, or accept the apology. It doesn't right the wrongs that he did. Of course not.
No.
But it takes away the burn of like, hey, everybody, I did these bad things. I'm back now. I'm here for you during this trying time. Give me $8 and you can enjoy. Like, why would anybody want to pay? And again,
yeah, that's true.
You're talking to one of the bigger Louis C.K. Have you ever seen him live, Frank?
I have not seen him live. I've just seen him on like net specials and stuff.
On specials. All right. I don't know if I paid money. I might have gotten a comp ticket, but the point is I've gone to see him. Like, I'm a fan, and I've plunked down money for his stuff in the past. I just felt like I'm not going to pay you $8 for this. Any other time I might have paid it. I might have not. I don't know. But I just felt like it was some nerve during coronavirus. You don't need the money. Certainly you're you're very wealthy. Like, just friggin' put it out. If you want to get back in everybody's good graces, this is actually a good chance for you to do it and do something nice for people that are just like, could use a laugh.
Right. Now, here's an interesting, I don't know if this makes any kind of sense, if this works or not, but were there 5 women that came forward or something?
It was a handful, yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say it's 5.
Yeah.
Not that they should be put in any kind of they shouldn't be bothered any more than they have been. But if they went live, if they said, yeah, let's forgive Louis C.K., then I think we should be okay with Louis C.K. coming back.
Well, that's my other problem with the media on this is, and there's a lot of blogs out there, and they're like I was reading one that was like, oh, Louis C.K., he thinks he can have a career again. And it's like, what do you want the guy to do? Hang himself? Like, he's obviously got to live. He's got 2 kids. It's
like if a garbage man did the same thing, and then years later he goes back to work as a garbage man. He should be allowed to finish his career or do his work that he's doing. I mean, he has to make some kind of living. He has to feed. He has kids. He has 2 kids, I think. Louis C.K. 3 kids.
He's got 2 kids. Yeah, exactly.
2 kids.
That's exactly the point. Again, what he did was bad. It was not Harvey Weinstein bad. Had it been Harvey Weinstein bad, he'd be behind.
And there's
bars exactly.
And nobody's pressed charges. If they press charges, if they go through court, then it's a different issue. But nobody's done that.
And to your point, we don't know where he's at with the people he wronged. Like, for all we know, he could have had conversations or meetings with them and been forgiven, and who knows what arrangements or settlements came into play. Like, we don't know any of that stuff.
It should be up to the victims. It shouldn't be up to society to say.
I mean, look, everybody's gonna have their opinion. Everybody's gonna have their opinion on it.
My own opinion.
Yeah, and you have yours and I have mine, and it's all valid. But I just feel like like you said, like the guy, like what is the guy gonna do? Like, this is what he does for a living. He did something bad. People do bad things. People get brought back. Look, if you don't want to support him, like, that's totally fine. There's plenty of people I've written off and I've been like, I don't think so. I'm never going to get back on that guy's bandwagon. Just never going to happen. You just sort of lose your taste for people. And there were Cosby. And there are other victims out there that are like, I'll never watch him again. Or like, he should be in prison. And you know what? Your feelings are totally valid, totally valid.
You have a valid point. I think, if the victim, let's say there's 5 victims, if they were all asked, what do you think about Louis C.K. coming back? And they said, I forgive, all 5 of them said, I forgive Louis C.K. Let the man, come, be who he wants to be. This is the end of this. Let's move on. Then I think that's the price. That's the minimum he should pay.
The minimum. But I think the reason why I brought this up, and it's all a good conversation, but the reason why I brought this up is the balls to charge for a special in your position in this time right now is like, what are you kidding me? Like, I would love to know. You should be giving it away. Yeah, I would love to know the sales figures on that, because this was like a golden opportunity to make a sacrifice for people and let people see that you're making that sacrifice. Like, hey, everybody,
now.
Right, exactly. Like,
that's the time. It was a home run. They probably talked about it and they said, yeah, this is going to be great. People at home, people need to laugh, like the whole thing says, and it's like, for $7.99.
Right. Like, this is the time more than ever that those who have should give to those who have not, or those who are making a sacrifice so that we can all live. And out comes Mr. This guy with his checkered past, and he's like, give me $8. Like, I just was so turned off by that.
That's a little much. Maybe save that for your next special.
And honest to God, like, I was literally just going to like watch the first couple of minutes, because I don't know what we were about to do, but I literally had like 5 minutes. Like, I wasn't going to sit there and watch and settle down and watch the whole show, but I was going to just like see what it was. I wanted to just check it out because I was curious, but for like $8, like, no way, it's not going to happen. I don't know. Really turned off by that. Something else that my wife brought up to me over the weekend, and I don't know if we've talked about it here or if I've talked about it on the radio show, but mukbang videos. Do you know about mukbang videos?
Tell me, because I don't think we talked about it here.
Mukbang videos are videos where people will just eat on camera, and they've tended to be like these. It's not like, I'm just eating a hamburger. It's like, I'm eating 27 hamburgers. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's like it's like amazing feats or like something special about
Yeah.
it.
Like I started watching those videos because I came across this guy that was eating like 10,000 calories in a day, but he's like this super fit, like modelly, like all built, jacked up guy. And it's like, watch me eat 10,000 calories. And I was kind of like, what is this? So I clicked on the video and he's like, hey, this is my cheat day. Like there couldn't be a more fit individual. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, this is my cheat day and I'm going to eat, you know? And so I watched it, and then like anything else on YouTube, you watch one thing and then they start like, it just makes its way into your algorithm.
Oh, sure.
So like as crazier as it got, and like one time like he visited New York, so I was like, oh, if he's gonna come to New York and destroy calories, I'm curious to see where he goes. So I watched that video. I started watching all these videos. D watches more videos of people like she'll watch them on Instagram and Twitter, and you know, and they're less produced. Like the guy that I started watching was more like a vlog, like follow me around on my cheat day and this is what I'm doing. These people just literally like turn the camera on and start shoving food in their face. She watches a lot of Korean women because the origins of this all came from Korea. In fact, mukbang means eating broadcast, I think, in Korean. That's what it means.
Okay.
So she made me watch one, and I'm watching this girl eat, and she's got this whole, dude, she has this whole bowl of like melted mozzarella, and I guess she kind of like kept it hot, and she's just like, it's like stringy, and she's pulling it up. She's got this massive corn dog, and she's like wrapping this mozzarella around the corn dog, and it's like gross, but it looks delicious, and you're just like, oh my God, I would love to eat that.
Sure.
Here's my
But
problem.
I can't watch anybody eat. I'm sorry.
Oh, and
Can't
then
happen.
you would die because Frank. So for those who don't know, Frankie C hates the chewing noise.
Oh, anybody chewing, lip smacking, and crunching to an extent. What I accept, you have lips. Just close your lips. When you do anything you want, keep it behind the lips.
Yeah. Frank cannot stand people who chew with their mouth open. I think that I
Obnoxious,
chew.
That's the word.
I feel like I chew with my mouth closed because you shamed me in the 4th grade.
Shamed you. I will straight up slap your ass. And there's no way to do it either. There's no way to tell anybody that they're chewing loudly and not have them be the most offended that you've ever seen them get in the world. You could literally punch them in the face. They'll be less offended than if you tell, excuse me, you're chewing a little bit loud. It's like, oh, I could chew however I want. Anytime I've ever said that to anybody, and it's usually been someone in my family, whenever I send that to someone, they attack. They come at me with claws out. Like, it's like, oh, I could chew whatever I want. Who are you to? I'm like, all right, then chew whatever you want. What do you want me to tell you?
I've seen Frank literally be like, do you have to chew?
It gets me.
We'll be eating somewhere and he'll be like, do you have to chew with your mouth open?
It's just disgusting and it's obnoxious.
It's the most
that's the
awkward
word.
thing to see you yell at somebody for that, but it is also like, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it.
I would only do it to close people to me, like my friends and family. I would
That's
never,
not entirely true.
That's true. I would never tell someone, a stranger or an acquaintance. I would never do that.
I've seen
I
you
would only
complain
do it
about
to, like,
it.
You. I would do that to you, like my brother.
Well, that's the thing about you too. Like, I'm a prolific closed mouth chewer, but like on occasion, if I have to like lip smack or something or get something in there,
that's the thing.
You'll be
You
like,
don't have to
how
lip
long do you have to do this for?
You don't have to lip smack. That's a choice you're making, sir.
See, you're psychotic when it comes to this. I want to know how far into the day. Oh, you froze here now. Oh, there you go.
I lost you.
All right.
What were we saying?
I want to know how far into dating your wife did you confirm? First of all, off the top of my head, I don't know, but the fact that you married her, I do know that she's not an open mouth chewer. But how far into dating your wife did you feel that relief of like, oh, okay, she doesn't chew with her mouth open?
First time she ate. Well, you know what? Our first date, we went to a restaurant.
Oh, it was first.
It was like the first time we went, just the two of us. Like our first date was at a Halloween party, so that wasn't really
Right.
This was our first date.
Well, that's
Was
what I'm
at a
saying.
restaurant.
Like, so like from the time that you first hung out to the time that you first went to dinner, was that a large amount of time? And were you worried like, oh my God, this girl's really amazing. I hope she's not an open mouth eater.
It's not like I think about it 24/7. I only think about it when it happens.
That feels like a lot.
It's not like I shut this off and I go, oh God, I hope nobody chews in my face today. I don't do that.
That feels like a lot.
I only think about it if I see someone doing it or someone's in my face doing it. There are some people out there, some people close to me that do it, and God love them. I just want to just like yell in their face, what are you doing? Why? There's no reason for that. It's like what's the equivalent? It's just an obnoxious sound that you don't have to make. It's like if you do something else that's unheard of, like everybody would freak out. But this is like if you moon someone, everybody would be, oh my God, that's obnoxious.
Look how angry you are. Look how
this is
angry you are.
accepted.
You're so angry.
Shut up.
Frank never gets mad. Frank never yells at anybody. This is the only time he gets upset, which is so funny.
This is my one thing, man. It's my one thing. Leave me alone.
So, but what's so funny is like, I watched this video and I saw this girl, and they're so thin. These people. It's like the guy who wins the hot dog contest. It's like this big. He's like tiny,
Yeah. Don't get that at all.
But here's my problem with mukbang videos, and I don't want to be disgusting here, but I feel like we're only seeing part of the story. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's all we need, though.
I understand.
I have a feeling I know what your second part of the story is going to be. I don't think we need to see that.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see people take a dump. I don't want to see their poopies. I don't want to see any of that stuff. But
would it please you to have what happened after in the description below?
Yes. Because I feel like it's cheating. They want to be on camera. They want to have the glory of consuming all of this food. Yet we don't know, there has to be painful poopies involved in eating that massive amount of food in a short amount of time. And not even to be disgusting about the poopy part, but we don't know if they're turning off the camera and then throwing up, just to like keep this going. By the way, it's the saddest thing to me, these things, because I feel like people are becoming famous off of this disgusting trait, and that's not a way to be famous. You know what I mean? Or have any acclaim.
Anything and everything to be famous. It's like the Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah.
Like, no one would do that unless they're trying to get people to see them do it.
Yeah.
It's sad that people want that attention.
But in this particular instance, I feel like this is cheating because they're only showing us half the story and only what we want to see.
That's true. They don't show the negative repercussions that is going to lead to.
Right. And we've all been there. We've all eaten big meals. We've all gone to the Brazilian steakhouse and gotten the meat sweats. And then the next day you're just like, oh my God, why did I eat that? You just like,
I can only imagine the mozzarella, and what was it on? The hot dog?
A mozzarella, on a corn. Like, that's not a winning combination for your gastrointestinal system.
That's going to cause a problem with your town. That's going to lead to...
It's going to cause an issue with local officials.
Your taxes are going up after that.
Yeah, so that's my big problem with mukbang videos. Like, I feel like it's cheating. It's only telling half the story. It's not telling the gritty, it'd be like, when you win the gold medal at the Olympics and then not saying in the interview afterwards, like, I never had a childhood, or I've been getting up at 5 a.m. to skate every morning. Like, that's part of the story,
I think that's assumed, though. I think we all look at, gold medalists and go, well, their whole life has been leading to this, and everything before this was probably torturous.
I feel like we need to
leading to this moment.
I feel like we need to see that torture. Like, I don't need to see it. I just want to, like, if you're going to film yourself eating, you should film yourself like crying on the toilet bowl and being like, why am I doing this to myself? You should film yourself.
I'm sure there's a website for that somewhere.
You should film yourself at the gastroenterologist as he's like, please stop doing this. It's not helpful.
This is the third time you're in here this week. I can't keep doing this to you. How many times can you have your stomach pumped in a week?
Yeah, like I feel like we just need to see that other side of this. If not, it's just it's kind of fake. But I did realize that I do enjoy watching other people eat. Like I do enjoy it. Like as much like in the same respect from and I'm like not like a whole thing, but like I enjoy watching cooking shows because it's like, oh, look how delicious that looks. You can get the same pleasure from like, this is what I'm eating. And then they take a couple bites and you're like, oh, that was cool. You know what I mean? Like I get the same exact pleasure from it if there's food involved.
I do not. And it's, there are movies and TV shows when I watch them.
Oh, we lost Frankie. It sounded like he was about to make the best point ever. Like the most perfect point he could possibly make. There he is. All right. I'm sorry, Frankie C. You watch TV shows and movies.
Okay, so when there are movies and TV shows going on with this, with eating, I notice it if they're doing it or if they're not doing it, making noises. And if you want a good example of the kind of stuff that bothers the hell out of me, just watch The Matrix. There's a scene
where he's eating the steak.
Joe Pantoliano.
Yeah, where he's eating the steak.
He's eating the steak, and I can't watch that scene. It's the most obnoxious chewing you've ever heard. And when I hear something like that, I want to put my foot through the TV.
That's a great. By the way, I still dream about that steak that he has because it looks delicious.
Looked like a good, delicious, juicy steak, and the way he describes it, great. But the chewing, that movie, and there's one more that really gets me too. It's Law Abiding Citizen. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
Jamie Foxx and what's that guy's Gerard Butler.
Okay.
Gerard Butler's in jail. He's eating a steak, and it's the same thing. And I can't do it.
Well, you started to go down that path, and I was like, huh, let's see. And you just ended it right there.
And I just can't. Even describing it, I'm hearing it again in my head.
Best movie with food. I'll give you the top 3 greatest films with food. Chef, Jon Favreau.
Haven't seen it.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, Frank, this will be. We don't have time. We ran out of time to talk about our list of movies that we've never seen, but you got to watch. You have Netflix, right?
I do, and I passed by it. I do want to see it. Is it a movie or is it a documentary? What is it about?
Well, okay, don't get confused because it's a movie. They made a film about it, and then the film was so successful that they started making a cooking TV show based off of the popularity. The guy who was Roy Choi, the guy who was the chef advisor on the movie Chef, him and Jon Favreau now created a show where they go around and they cook and they do that whole thing. And the show is phenomenal.
Cool.
Yeah, the show is really good.
And I love cooking shows.
You'll love Chef.
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
If you love cooking shows, you'll completely love Chef. It's phenomenal.
Cool.
It's phenomenal. So Chef is really good. Spanglish with Adam Sandler. That was a great one. And the one with Catherine Zeta-Jones. And the blonde-haired guy who was Harvey Dent.
Oh, I don't know that.
No Reservations. I just found it. No Reservations.
Cool.
That one's pretty good too. Yeah, that's my top 3 films with food in it. But Spanglish is straight up food porn, and so is Chef. No Reservations, not as much, but it's a nice one to watch. It's a good one.
Ratatouille is good too.
Ratatouille. All right, we'll leave it there, my friend.
Sounds good.
Appreciate the time. Don't forget to answer the question of the day. Did you know who Wood was? Have you gotten a text message of Wood with Wood involved? Did you get that kind of thing going on? And we'll reveal the answers on the next episode right here at anthonyonair.com.